Hello, it's Cornwall TV again. And we're having a look at this. This is a 47-inch LG smart TV, as you can probably see. It looks alright from that angle. Or does it? Well, that's not me turning it on and off. And technically the TV is not turning itself on and off. It's just the screen that's going on and off. I've never seen one before that does this. This is a 47LB 850 from LG. Sorry, it's a 650, not an 850. So it's got the LB 6-volt backlights in it. And when the backlights do fail on these, they do flicker. But if you can see where my fingers are just going on the screen here. Look, it's dark now. But I think that's going to... Yes, look, it gets bright again. And now the TV has stopped switching on and off. Or it did. So this is a bizarre one, and I've only just noticed that at the same time when it switches on and off, there's like a little ticking noise. The ticking noise is not coming from the TV, but I think it's just a light that's affecting one of the cameras. So normally when the backlights fail on these, it will constantly pulse. I've never seen one that... Well, I suppose you could say it still is pulsing, but I've never seen one that pulses at this slow rate before. It's normally quite a fast pulse. But again, 99% sure it's a backlight issue, but there must be something going on underneath here which is just making it slightly different. It's strange how the bottom set of backlights seem to be coming on and off at a different time rate to when the picture's going on and off. Now, the problem that we have with this television is it's come from a customer. It's a Saturday, and they'd like it back tonight working. Now, the quickest I could get a set of backlights for this in would be 3 or 4 days. So we're going to try and fix this up using any spare parts that we can scrounge. It really does depend on how many of the backlights have gone. If it is the backlights, at the moment, I'm a little unsure. It could be the LED driver which has failed on this. It's gone into screensaver mode now. And it's stopped. Has it stopped flashing on and off? I think it has. That's very bizarre. Oh, but the bottom section is still going on and off. You can tell where I'm just moving my fingers there. So there's something not quite right. So, well, before we can judge exactly how much is entailed here and what parts are needed, we better have a look. Take it to bits. So we've taken the back off as per usual. We've got the normal boards. You've got the main board and the power board. I'm just taking off the IR receiver board, and so I can get to the screen guard. Screen guard's going to have to come off. Then we're going to have to take the screen off. Once the screen comes off, we can have a good look at the backlights. Just ignore the dog barking. Now, with the cam, you can probably spot a fault already, which is giving away why we had a separate pulsating backlight issue on the bottom set. You can possibly see there one backlight which is badly burned up. But let's switch them on and see. Now, it's going to be difficult for you to tell through the camera how many are working and how many are not, but I can let you know that about 40% of them are not lighting up. I can't believe actually that the LED driver is still working correctly and allowing them to power up. So many of these just not working. And look at that for a brute. I don't know if I've ever seen one that's been burnt up on this particular model before. Not on the 6-volt ones. On the 3-volt ones with Samsung, yes, but not with the LG ones. And if you look closely, it means there's a failure on every strip. Yes, there are. There's a failure on every strip. So this is going to need a whole new set of backlights. So I was just showing you what was going off there using the hand camera, just back on the above camera. I'll only do this for a second because I know it flickers, but you can see how many are out there and what the problem is. We haven't got a brand new set in for this. And the customer would like it back, and they don't want to spend an awful amount of money on it. So, well, actually, I think we do have a full set in, but we're going to have to try and get this going for a cost-effective reason, which I completely understand. So they've accepted a price to get this up and running using second-hand, used lights. So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to zoom in here on the backlight that had burnt out. Have a look at this. Quite nasty. There's no way that we can repair that. I mean, obviously we can repair individual backlights, but not on that particular strip. It's too far gone. It's shorted out and has taken the track with it. So that'll need a new strip. In fact, in all told here, it's going to be a whole new set of strips, but I'm going to have to cobble them together from used, which I have apart from one. So what I'm going to have to do is find one here that's just got one backlight that has failed, and I'm going to use a donor strip. And you can possibly tell which is the good one and which is the bad one on this, because the good one's on the top, all nice and shiny. And the one which has failed is on the bottom. So just letting those heat up, you can probably see smoke coming from the top one. So that's ready to come off. That top one is the working one, remember, so we'll take the bottom one off first. Just a little jiggle, and that's off. And hopefully if this one is molten enough, it will come out and straight on. Ouch. There's a lot of heat coming from the hot plate. You can't really tell, but with my hand just being a few inches away, I could feel the heat then. So let's just try and get that in the right position. Plus and minus. Polarity is very important with these. Right, so that's on. Just give it a tap in place. That seems to be in place. So I'll switch the hot plate off, let it cool down, and let that LED set. And hopefully that'll mean that that strip is going to work. This is not the perfect and best way of doing this, but I'm just testing that I can get these working again and that the strip is going to be fine. The best way for this is stick a whole new set of strips in, which is 8 strips in total. The strips do connect together, so it looks like 4 long strips, but technically it is 8 strips that link together. But we're trying to do this for the best price for the customer that we possibly can. We'll put a warranty with it, obviously. And if the backlights are kept down, it'll be interesting to see how high the backlights are. If and when we do get it back up and running. I think that LED has just come out of position again. I must have moved it too quickly while it was still still on the hot plate. Because they're all lighting up apart from that one that I've just done. Serves me right. That was me being a little bit impatient. So just let me get this back on the hot plate and put it back on correctly. It just needed a nudge to the left. So we can see here that they're all working. So hopefully now I've managed to transfer one over. They're all going to be working. That's the bottom set that had the burnt one, so that's all working now. We'll just switch the lights off above so you get a better view. So all 8 working there. You'll notice there are 8 LEDs per strip. And technically each strip is 2 strips joined together. So we've got the bottom one sorted. From memory, we've got to replace them all. I'm just trying to figure out if there was one that was salvageable, and I thought there was one that was salvageable. That's okay now. So we've got the bottom section. The LED driver section is split into 2. Top and bottom. So the bottom set is now working correctly. You can see there's one gone there, so let's replace that strip. Again, we're not replacing with new, we're replacing with used. But used with all the LEDs working. Again, it's not the ideal result, but it's a Saturday. They want the TV working for tonight. And so this is the best, quickest, most cost-effective way. You can see there I'm just testing each individual strip. Again, individual strip has only got 4 LEDs on them. They're linked together. But now that strip is working, so that's 3 working strips.
So all I want is an egg. And of course all I've got is a bee. So I need to get this A working.
Well, as you saw earlier, that was the one we did get working. We pinched one from another set, got the hot plate on, and swapped the LEDs over. So now we should have a complete working set of backlights. There are a couple of lenses that are off, which I will glue on. That's the least of the problems here. But it does look to me now every single backlight is working again. I'm so surprised in the first place that this was still coming on at all. Never mind the occasional pulse. So what we now have to do is stick it all back together. Just make sure I put the screws in the correct way, and there you have it. Sorry about the flickering, but I can't help that with the cameras, sorry. But they're all working, as you can see. And so the TV has gone from one that's pulsing on and off every 2 or 3 seconds to one with all the backlights failing. I'm just going to have a look and see what the backlights were set on. More than likely the backlights would have been set at 100. It's just one of those accidents people forget. They're never really told to check the setting of the backlights. You can have the contrast and brightness as high as you like, but when it comes to the backlights, it's always best to turn them down as much as you can. It's on an eco setting, but that eco setting will do nothing until the eco has been set up in the service menu. So in the service menu, if the eco setting is 100, then the backlights will be 100 at eco. Not very economical, is it? So I'm just going to get my service remote and we'll go into the backlights. There you can see backlight 100. I know it's upside down. So we need to turn that down. So let me just go to the backlight setting. Postman's just arrived. That's the dog letting me know. I'm just changing the contrast on the backlights. I don't know what the ticking noise is. I can hear it now, but I couldn't hear it before when I was making it, but it's definitely something that's coming through the speakers. It's not coming through the speakers of the TV. The ticking is coming through the camera. But that's it, all sorted. And it goes back to the customer. Thanks very much for watching.